is Pete Turner, president and founder of Illegal Pete's fast casual Mexican restaurant and bar in Colorado. We've got 7 locations, soon to open our 8th and first out of state in Tucson, Arizona. I employ 200 people, and I'm proud to say that we've been around for 20 years. It's really an honor to be in front of you all. I normally don't do this, that's why I have notes. Sorry, Jerry. But to talk about something that's really important to me, and it's a topic that's really important to the future of my company, and I think will be important to the future of yours. And what I'm going to be talking about today is a living wage. And, Jerry, you had talked about frontline workers and how important that they share your vision, mission, and you too as well, John. I think that, and really, we talk a lot about in this industry about how most of us are trying to do something different and to do the right thing. And the fast casual industry in general has shown great leadership in the industry as a whole, but also in the American consumer at sustainability in general. We want the food we serve to be local, the food we serve to be clean. We're concerned about animal welfare, and we use recyclable and compostable materials. So we really try to balance healthy profit with doing the right thing. But what I've been asking myself for really 10 years, and kind of, I was 23 when I opened my business and have worked with some of the same people since day one, but what about the sustainability of our people, right? I'm sure that everyone in this room would say that our business is first and foremost a people business. John spoke to that. And I believe that to be true, and I'd like to speak about taking care of our people. The front line without which I'm sure I would not be in business. Illegal Pete's wouldn't be around. So I'm going to start in, let's see if I can get this right. Whoa, probably not. I'm just going to give a little, I just want to take a look at this again. I'm really impressed. All right. All right, hold on a second. All right, so basically, here is a problem as I see it. Really, I'm going to start with something that's not a problem at all. I mean, we live in America. We do business in America. Americans have seen, although it's not working, ups and downs. Okay, the last 25 years, this is from 1990, but really over the last, 100 years, really, we've seen productivity in this country go up. There, it's all coming at once now. Really, we've seen, productivity go up. And along with that, up until about the last 30, 40 years, we've seen, along with productivity, you see profits go up. And really, we normally saw wages kind of march in lockstep with that. We're all making more money. Everything's great. We have our ups and downs, the Great Recession, et cetera. But if you look at the bottom of this slide, workers' wages have really gone sideways for about 30 years. And, I understand that, we're always looking at our bottom line. But that fact that, some of our employees have to work 2 to 3 jobs is problematic to me. And I think in between this productivity and profit and sort of CEO pay even, I'll go ahead and say it, a lot of us in this room are CEOs, and I think we're doing pretty well for ourselves. There lies this gap that I believe is kind of the left behind we talk about a declining middle class in America, and I think that we can do something about it. So what I have chosen for my business and what I've been doing work on kind of last 3-4 years, study kind of wage benchmarking and whatever, is sort of the notion of a living wage. Now, what is a living wage? Wow, someone did that. Are you doing it for me? Right on. Thank you. We'll check out the Bo Jackson one later too. Maybe wrap up with that. But so a living wage, so there's a lot of definitions out there, but for us at Illegal Pete's, for me, living wage means a full-time hourly wage sufficient to provide the necessities and comforts essential to an acceptable standard of living. That includes housing, food, clothing, healthcare, education, savings, leisure, free time with family and loved ones. Sounds like a pretty good life, right? I hope that everyone in this room enjoys this type of living. So what does that mean? What does that translate to our employees? I mean, we need to monetize that, right? So for our needs, and there's a lot of this out there right now. It's actually becoming very topical, right? For our needs, I define living wage for a family of four. We want to employ and grow with families. In the typical working class family in America, middle class family in America, family of four, 2 working adults, 2 children, right? So MIT living wage calculator, it's kind of the standard out there. It does a calculation for wherever you are in the country, most major metropolitans. And in Denver, where we have 4 restaurants, 2 in Boulder, 1 in Fort Collins, each individual working adult needs to earn an equivalent of $15.67 in hourly compensation to provide this living class standard for a family of 4. In Tucson, I'd mentioned we're going to be opening in Tucson, Arizona. That's down a little bit, lower standard of living there. So essentially, so $15.67, $15.22, and I'll get into this in the next slide, but our entry-level employees earn a compensation equivalent of $17.11 an hour, which for 2 working adults puts them at $68,440, which is about 300% the annual federal poverty line for a family of 4, which is good. It's good living, right? So because of all this, we landed at Illegal Pete's with our 2015 Illegal Pete's Living Wage Initiative. These are actual Illegal Pete's employees right there. I should put that up on our wall too. But yeah, so starting in June 1st, we bumped every employee in our restaurant level operations up, basically the starting employee, to a total of $17.11 an hour. That includes the hourly wage, we do a food and drink credit, medical dental, which we've been doing for years, and tips. So, and that followed, every level above that saw the same wage increase, from cooks to shift supervisors, kitchen supervisors, to kitchen manager, assistant general manager, and general manager. So and really, I mean, the impact is, it was the equivalent to each of our 200 plus employees getting a $3,000 raise, which took a lot to do, and it was kind of a big hit. It was a huge hit, actually. But let me talk about what that looks like, and that started June 1st. So the immediate impact to our bottom line was, so the unit hourly cost of the hourly wage increase at our store was 2.4%. So every hourly employee, that raise hit our bottom line 2.4%. The salaried managers, their raise increased, hit our profit to about 1% or 0.8. So all in, it was an immediate impact to our bottom line of 3.2%. A lot of money. I mean, definitely we were taking a leap of faith, but kind of doing what we thought was the right thing, but taking a leap of faith that we would see benefit as well. So what is the gain? And again, this was June 1st, so we're about 4.5 months into it. And I'll be clear that we're in a market that has known us for 20 years, right? But the new incremental sales, we're already having a good year and have had a couple good years, but our incremental sales growth from June 1st represented about 3.6%, and that's top line gain, right? And I'll get into why we think some of that has happened. We've also seen a trend down on our controllables, right, of an improvement of 1.6%. Again, I hope that continues. We also have seen a gain in turnover and training expenses. We expected to see that. But so the projected gains of this is 5.45%. We're very, very pleased with that, and we hope that it continues, and it looks like it will be. So combined, you look at the cost versus the benefit for us, the initial cost of the bottom line with the increase in hourly and salary at the store level was 3.2%. The gain has been 5.45%. For net company impact of 2.25%. And mind you, this is without a price increase. I mean, this is just straight cost on cost. So it's been very exciting. Yeah. Thank you. But again, so we believe, it's shown in 4.5 months that, not only is it good, I think it's doing the right thing, but it's also good business. But the real benefits, and what I think is driving a lot of that, the top line benefit, all those benefits we saw, is we've really we've always been pretty good about having an engaged and motivated staff. I mean, look at these guys, they're crazy. But anyway, but they become more engaged, more motivated. You know, again, you talk about a purpose, right? What are we working for? Are we working together, you know? You talk about all this stuff, right? So, and we're flying through it, but I'm gonna go slowly through it. But so yeah, that engaged, motivated staff, I mean, it's been amazing. They've always been really good, but now, I mean, they're really excited, man. Everybody's like, wow, you know, this company really cares about us. There's dignity and excitement, and that translates to our customers. I mean, they're talking to our customers about it. I've not been the best maybe at PR and getting the word out, but man, my staff is, which is awesome. And we're all in a very hyper-competitive environment, just not, you know, we're all competing for the same people too, really. So we've found that we've got people seeking us out, right? We're recruiting really good people. I mean, they may have black and white hair like Root Beer there does, but I mean, they're really, really fun, smart, hardworking people that are, as the millennials, man, they're working towards something. They really want to be involved in something like this. Positive publicity, yeah, I've not been as good in the Denver market, but as I said, we're moving to Tucson, and I did an interview with the Arizona Star. They were introducing our kind of movement in the market, and 70% of the article was this woman was talking about this wage increase and kind of how exciting, and they interviewed, you know, the Chamber of Commerce and just how excited. I mean, that was really the gist of this. I'm like, hey, you know, we're opening a restaurant. Well, they were so excited about the wages. So again, we've got hundreds of applicants in Tucson just because of that, really. I also, the ability to plan for the future. We are all growing chains in here. You know, as Jerry, I think you said, we're all in this room because we've made it, or hopefully we continue to make it, right? But we're looking to grow. We're looking to really continue to make an impact. But I think doing this has allowed us to get further commitment from our employees. And as we look to grow to new markets and whatnot, they're along for the ride, man, and they're excited about it, right? And really, it's just been a lot of fun. Let me just end on that last piece. It's been fun. I mean, so we're seeing people, you know, and again, but we're seeing frontline workers get houses, cars. I mean, talk about their vacations and whatnot. You know, it's just a lot of fun to see that. It feels really good. So what is the big picture here? And you know, again, been thinking about this talk, and you know, I think so. In doing some of the research here, I came across this figure that 1 in 10 people in the U.S. are employed in the restaurant industry. I guess I didn't know that until I was kind of researching this, but that's pretty staggering to me. 1 in 10 people that you pass on the street, or they're at the Miami football game or in the mall, are basically our coworkers, man. I mean, they work side by side with us. So we really, going back to the thinking that, you know, the restaurant industry has outpaced the normal economy just in job growth and just for 16 plus years, and the fast casual segment of that's the fastest growing. We are employing more and more people. I just kind of think about the impact that we've made on sustainability and better food and, you know, I mean, all of these things, man. What if we move that to this, to really, what if we added this whole paying our people and lifting our people up more to that charge, right? I mean, there's so much impact I think that we can make that I believe, you know, again, we've shown for our business, it's good business anyway, but I mean, we can really make a huge impact in basically sort of bringing back this class of people that's sort of gone away. And really, as we're growing, we want the best people to be excited and to look 10 years out and to look 20 years out and to be along with us for the ride, right? Here's another Legal Pete's family. And for whatever reason, we're a Mexican restaurant, but St. Patty's Day is our biggest day of the year. Don't get it. But yeah, I mean, so I guess that's kind of it, you know, is just to think, you know, as we plan for the future sort of growth, our plan for our successful future, I sort of just ask that we think about inviting our employees along to plan for their future success as well. And I think they can be hand in hand, and I think everybody wins, honestly. I think it's really good business. It's obviously great for the employees, but I think that it could be really good for this country. And I'm going to go Sack Bo Jackson. Yeah. All right, thanks.